What's happening? It's Erik J. Olson. We're doing a lot of interviews with other entrepreneurs live on social media to see how they started their businesses and find out what lessons they've learned and what advice they have for us and for you. And today I spoke with Felix LaHaye, who is the founder and CEO of United Esports. They are an esports marketing agency, and they do a lot of other things in esports. Now, you may not have known this because I didn't, but video gaming in the United States is already a bigger industry than Hollywood. So it's not that esports is an up and coming thing. It's already here. It's just that it's only pertinent to a small segment of the American population, those that game. But the amount of revenue that it generates is more than Hollywood generates. Isn't that crazy? Now, esports is a small segment, the competitive gaming segment within all of gaming. So we were talking about the beginning of his company and how in the very beginning, he talks about how he tried a lot of different things in esports, and he wasn't necessarily planning on becoming an esports marketing company, but he saw that was taking off. And so we talked a little bit about that. And as an entrepreneur, was it difficult to pivot? Did he want to do something different? And I think the takeaway here is that when you start a business, you usually go in with a plan, but you have to adapt your plan when you see market conditions change or when you see demand for your services change. Unfortunately, I see a lot of entrepreneurs that they say, you know what, I do X, Y, and Z, and that's all I'm ever going to do. And they'll watch their business go, from profitable to unprofitable down to zero because they don't want to pivot. I think the key here is to recognize when it's time to pivot. Sometimes it makes sense for you to do it as far as your own skill set or your own desire, or even what's cool or not cool. And Felix talks about that a little bit too. So when it's time to pivot, recognize the moment. And even if it's not cool, you should really think hard about pivoting.
We started much more as we'll do this, this, and this. And the marketing went like this. So, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So yes, it was our intent to do marketing in esports and gaming. It's not, we weren't trying to say we're going to do marketing exactly like this. No, we was let's find a new way to reach those audiences with new types of content. We really weren't trying to emulate what people were doing somewhere else and porting over. So let's find a new way to do this. And it went really well, very fortunately. So it allowed us to grow quickly and continue, but we're very proud of our work on the bar side. And, I'm really happy with our work in competitive esports and of course, our partnership and association with our many brands. I was talking about talent 5 seconds ago because we just had an amazing result in the competitive scene, but we're investing in other teams and projects that we love equally.
It's interesting that you said that you started off wanting to do a whole bunch of different things, and marketing was one of them, and that just took off. And so you jumped on that, which is interesting because, a lot of times it seems to me like entrepreneurs, they don't want to pivot either when they see something clear, like the marketing taking off, or just the opposite where, something that they want to do is going down. They stick with the plan and they don't pivot. So, I think it's easier when you see something working that you want to pivot towards that. But a lot of times I think entrepreneurs have the opposite problem. They see things that aren't working, but they want to stick with those things. So in your case, I'm sure there were other things that you wanted to, you said you started off doing a bunch of different things. Was it difficult to kind of give those other things up? Was that kind of like your passion, some of those things that you had to give up to
No, we still, we're very fortunate. We still do them. We just did it at for example, the bar side, we put on pause for a second and then, restarted after. So, at the end of the day, few are the businesses that you kind of sometimes have to make a decision on. There's always a balance. It's not one or the other, but you need to strike a balance between this is what I want to do because it's really cool, and this is what I want to do because I want to make the most money possible. There's different types of entrepreneurs. I try to stick somewhere in the middle. I tend to stick more to the cool than the most profitable at times. But it's really what you value overall. I don't necessarily believe in the adage that if you do something that is cool for you, it will succeed. I think that usually it's the things that are not cool that succeed more. The picks and shovels businesses are usually more successful than the painting businesses. I mean, I'm just making painting, but the hard stuff can lead to bigger success than the fun stuff because everyone wants to do the fun stuff.
Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, $1 Million Journey: How to Launch a 7-Figure Business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing a $1 million business. It took me 8 years, and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you can apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Erik J. Olson.